Hi, this is Sean D'Souza, and you're listening to the 3-Month Vacation Podcast. This podcast isn't some magic trick about how to work less. Instead, it's about how to really enjoy the work that you do and to enjoy your vacation time. Hi, it's Sean, and you're listening to the mini 3-month vacation. And it's mini because this is really based on a question that many of you might have but don't know how to ask. And in 5000 BC, one of the members asked this question. I thought we should put a little add-on to the previous podcast so that if you have this question, it will be answered. Now, if you remember, I told you about how we did the first brain audit presentation when it wasn't even called the brain audit. It was just how customers buy or why customers buy and why they don't. And the question that came up was a result of me describing how I was all nervous, I forgot my part, and yet people signed up. And they signed up for a whole bunch of seminars just like that. So 8 or 10 seminars, I forget exactly how many, but they signed up for all of these. So the question is, why did they do that? And here's the answer. The 10 people bought because they knew me. That's a short answer. However, that's an incomplete answer because it's very easy for one of us to say, well, I'm just starting out in business, no one knows me. Bear in mind that I was a new immigrant into New Zealand, so I didn't really know anyone. But I did join the networking group. I did get to know them all one by one. And of the 20 people that showed up, 10 people signed up. So they were the ones that knew me best, and they felt that I could help them in their business, that I could help them move forward. In every situation, you're going to get a few people. The networking group that I was part of had 35 people, and out of 35, we got 20 to attend. Out of those 20, 10 people signed up. The ones that signed up were those that knew me best, and I went with the first 10. I'm sure if I had another event, I could have gotten another set of people, maybe not 10, maybe 5. And if I did a third event, maybe I got 3. But when I did those recurring classes, I could go 10 plus 5 plus 3. So 18 people in the room. And they're all paying you $75. And it's not a huge amount of money, but it is a very good sum of money to get for just that hour that you're spending. Now, admittedly, the networking group people knew me, but it can be done even with a bunch of strangers. For instance, the cafe that I go to had barista classes. So you could sign up to these events, and then there were recurring events where you learn to make coffee as good as a barista, especially if you have this machine at home and you're making rotten coffee. I went to a restaurant in the city, and they served us pasta, but they also have pasta making classes, and both starter and advanced classes. And each of those classes are like $120 each. So in short, the answer is to get the trust, to give the skill, to give the information, or to even get them to eat something like pasta and then get them to come back as clients to learn how to make that pasta at home. But you have to have that system in place first. But still, why do people buy? And the reason for this is the factor of enthusiasm. Sales is a transfer of enthusiasm. To sell something, anything, you first need enthusiasm. Why? Because without enthusiasm, you struggle to sell. Which is why if you tend to tell people how difficult things are, they never buy anything from you. In fact, they avoid you. But if you're really enthusiastic about a product or a service, we're not talking about hyping it up. We're talking about enthusiasm. You can feel it now in my voice. That energy is being transferred to you. So people buy on enthusiasm alone. And in this case, you're buying into a concept. But why is enthusiasm so important? Because most clients don't know what they're buying. I'm not saying they don't know or they're completely ignorant. I'm saying they can never know. And so they have to depend on the cues that you give them, the enthusiasm that you give them. Because even when a product is clearly spelled out, let's say you're buying a phone or a car or a house, your brain can only process a few details. And a lot of the details are based purely on the enthusiasm of the person selling the product or the sales page selling the product. Let's take the landing workshop that we're having in Houston. Let's say you go to that sales page. What of it is absolutely clear to you? Some elements are clear, but how will the workshop be done? How much will I stick to the syllabus? Who will you be sitting next to? What kind of seating formation will we have? All of these elements, there are more questions than answers, and they don't even relate to the workshop contents itself. So when a client is buying something, it's not like they're going, okay, let me see every single bullet point, and let me see how I can get or extract information from every single bullet point. They're buying into enthusiasm. Now, clients always buy based on their need, but that doesn't mean that they should come to you. They could quite easily go some other place, buy it at a different price, more expensive price, cheaper price. The reason why they make that journey is because of the enthusiasm that has been transferred from me to them. But that's only one aspect of it. The second aspect is results. You can always guarantee results. Even at the most basic level, you can guarantee results. Let's take that brain audit presentation. You know that it was not as polished as it could be. But why did they sign up anyway? They signed up because they got results. When they walked in that evening, they didn't know what caused hesitation, what caused the customer to hesitate. And the brain audit brought that reasoning out to them, gave them the logic. At that very event, they also learned why customers buy, as in they buy into the problem, not into the solution, that the problem must come first. And that's completely opposite to what we've learned, which is the benefits matter, but it's really the problem that matters. So even though it was a bit sloppy and I forgot stuff, they still got a result. And that is why they decided to buy the next step and the next step and the next step and next. Even when you look at the headline report on our site, that also delivers results. So in 10 minutes, you're able to write 3 types of headlines. It's not a headline course. It's not exactly headline university, but a client gets results. And when they get results, they understand that, hey, I can stick around here. Even as you're starting out, you can get results for your clients, but you have to break your big topic down into smaller topics. So I don't teach people everything about headlines. We have a full course for that. Instead, we break it down into a very small topic. And when they do those 3 things, first, they get the enthusiasm of the person teaching them, but secondly, they get results. And that is why clients keep coming back, even when they don't know you. Of course, it's best if they do know you, and that's why we have newsletters and stuff like that. But even if they don't know you, that's why they keep coming back. So to answer the question, how do you have a less than polished presentation, a less than polished starting point, goof up, and clients will still come back? And a large part of it depends on enthusiasm and results. So that was just a little extra mini 3-month vacation podcast. I'll say bye for now. We'll see you in 5000 BC. Bye-bye.